Meg 2, The Trench, is a movie that exists. Spoiler warning for those who care. I liked the first Meg movie. Despite its flaws, it was fun. And the Megs are this very real threat throughout the film. The sequel, however, had none of the first movie's fun or charm and all of its idiocy. The movie was dumb from start to finish. But for the sake of time, let's just go over what I think are the top 10 dumb things in Meg 2. Starting with number 10, the helicopter needing fuel. This is in the final act of the movie, and takes place on Fun Island. Evil boss lady was sitting in this helicopter just a little while ago, waiting to take off. So why, when two of our main characters need to use it, is the helicopter on empty? Mac and Juming have to fend off the prehistoric iguanas while they refuel the chopper. Mac takes off as soon as the gas starts pumping into the chopper's tank, and Juming leans out of the helicopter to pull the pump out. He falls out and uses the gas pump to spray gasoline at the prehistoric iguanas, while Mac flies the chopper one-handed, loads a flare gun, and shoots the fuel tank. It explodes and they all die. No, actually, they're both fine. Number 9. The Prehistoric Iguanas. I don't know the official name for this thing. It's not mentioned in the movie, so I'm calling it a prehistoric iguana. They're in the beginning of the film, living on land and picking clean a carcass. They are shown to be good swimmers, but they swim back to land when the Meg is incoming, because they are land-based animals. They don't have gills to live underwater. So how do they go from living on land during the dinosaur age to living in the trench along with the Megs and giant octopus? They look the same after spending the last few centuries living underwater. The change to their environment didn't change them in any way. And when they escape the trench, they head for Fun Island, the closest strip of land around. They have no problem walking on land again and start killing people left and right. They're not disoriented at all, nor are they wary of these strange two-legged creatures with boom boom sticks. And guns have no effect on them, until they do. Number 8. Meg Proof Windows. Remember what the Meg did to the plastic tunnel in the first movie? You'd think the survivors of the last movie would be really uncomfortable being near Meg-sized windows that have no bars or anything to reinforce in case a Meg tries smashing into it. Nope, there's no need to worry. These windows are Meg-proof. How did you test it? Don't know, but I'm sure the windows at the Meg pool, the 14-year-old's underwater bedroom, and at Mana 1 are completely foolproof. No Meg is getting through those. Until one does. Number 7. Secret Seafloor Station and Illegal Mining Operation. So, Jonas and company have done 25 dives before the movie started, and not once did they notice a big seafloor station being built or pods coming up to the surface with crates attached to them. I don't care if the station is in a section of the trench they haven't explored yet. The subs and Mana 1 still have sensors. Considering that the pod the evil henchman uses to escape the seafloor station comes up not that far from Mana 1, this should have been noticed earlier. The illegal mining operation, stripping the ocean of its resources, is done by itself. The rare earth metals can be found on land and mined for a fraction of the cost it took to build a seafloor station, get mining equipment and a crew to operate at that depth. The rare earth metals may be worth billions, and yes, that's billion with a B, Jonas, but it costs billions to build that station and keep the mining operation running. Number 6. Jonas is the strongest man in the world. Not only is Jonas able to lift a helicopter blade by himself, move it up and down to hit the water, but he is able to keep it upright while there's a Meg skewered on it. And this is supposed to be the biggest Meg anyone has ever seen. I guess Jonas ate his spinach that morning. Number 5. Evil Boss Lady flies the Fun Island. So, Evil Boss Lady, the brains behind the illegal mining operation, decides she needs to fly to Fun Island and oversee her henchmen killing Jonas and company. Why? She was perfectly safe in her apartment. She had already talked to evil henchman numero uno about getting more evil henchmen together to kill Jonas, so there was no need for her to go. She doesn't do anything when she's there. She walks around a little bit with discount Pedro Pascal, then goes back to the helicopter, sits there a little while, before sending her pilot away to investigate the gunfire she heard. When he doesn't return, she gets out, grabs a gun off this random dead body, gets back in the chopper, and gets killed Jurassic Park style by the Prehistoric Iguanas. Number 4. 14-year-old sneaks on board Submarine. I really liked Mei Ying in the first movie. She was adorable. But in this movie, Mei Ying got the Cassie treatment from Ant-Man 3, and is now an annoying I know better than the adults around me teenager. She has zero trauma from the first movie, is totally okay with big fish swimming up to her window in an eerily similar way to the Meg in the first movie, and wants to go with Jonas to the trench. Despite the fact that she is 14, has no diving experience at that depth, and is not trained for this expedition, she sneaks on board, putting the sub's oxygen levels in danger because she's an extra person unaccounted for, but it's okay because she brought extra O2 in her own suit. Jonas does the right thing in stopping the dive, and wants to turn back immediately, but as they stand there and argue, the no longer in captivity Meg comes after them and they're forced to dive below the thermocline to escape. To their surprise, She-Meg follows them, but soon loses interest in them. They see the biggest Meg ever, but it doesn't bother them. Jonas wants to take Mei Ying back, but Ju-Ming wants to see why the Megs are behaving strangely, so they follow the Megs. Guys, there is a child on your sub. Not only is she not trained for this, but she is a child. Your last surviving family member, Ju-Ming, and your stepdaughter, Jonas. But sure, let's follow the Megs. Let's see their mating ground and not turn back. Let's find the secret Seafloor station and not hightail it out of there. Oh look, there's an explosion. The ridge is coming down on us. We're in danger. Sure wish we had turned back when we could, huh? Number 3. Swimming with the Meg. Ju-Ming has a death wish the whole movie. The amount of times he needlessly puts himself in dangerous situations, ready to sacrifice his life, and doesn't die is laughable. Even Jonas calls him out on it at one point. But near the beginning of the movie, Ju-Ming has the brilliant idea to go swimming with She-Meg, the Meg he's raised since she was a pup. They have a special bond. She won't hurt him, yada yada. She is still a wild animal. Even professional trainers of wild animals can get hurt by those wild animals. And why? If great white sharks don't do well in captivity, would you assume a Meg would? Ju-Ming trained She-Meg with a clicker to come and go, and his colleagues make bets on whether or not he'll get eaten, while his niece begs him to get out of there. To the surprise of no one, She-Meg doesn't listen, and Ju-Ming is forced to use his sonic power move to get out of there. Number 2. Convenient Meg-shaped hole. So, they have this female Meg in captivity, and while I have no problem with her tank being connected to the ocean, that would allow the seawater to go in and out, I am perplexed by the hole and tunnel connecting her tank to the ocean being big enough for her to escape through. The bars covering the opening are so flimsy, all it takes is one attack from She-Meg to break through them and she's free. No alarms, no security, everyone we saw at this facility went to Men of 1, so no one knows She-Meg escaped until she goes after the 2 subs. Now, before I reveal number 1, I would like to talk about the worst character in the movie. It's not Evil Boss Lady or Traitor Lady, who both foolishly revealed their evil deeds to Jonas. Nope, it's Rigus, one of the good guys. She tries to be this tough chick. When told to shoot anything to move, she says, "You bet your sweet life I will." And they try to show how conflicted she is when given the choice to kill Jonas in order to save Mei Ying. But make no mistake, she is a horrible human being. While Ju-Ming is risking his life to save them, Rigus panics and yells at Jonas to close the hatch so they can escape and leave Ju-Ming to die. And she does not apologize when Ju-Ming makes it back in plenty of time for them to get out. On Fun Island, surrounded by mercenaries and prehistoric iguanas that want to kill them, Rigus takes a moment to rob a dead guy of his money, cause he won't need it anymore, and she runs off, leaving her supposed friend behind so that she has a greater chance of survival. It makes it laughable when she tells Jonas she will protect Mei Ying with her life. No you won't. If given the chance to save yourself at the cost of Mei Ying's life, you're choosing yourself. Quick editor's note here, I forgot to mention that Rigus is totally cool with Mei Ying sneaking on board the sub cause she also did dumb stuff when she was 14. Okay, no matter the dumb thing you may have done as a teenager, sneaking on board a submarine that was diving down 25,000 feet cannot compare. Nobody should be cool with what Mei Ying has done. Alright, without further delay, here is the dumbest moment in Meg 2. Number 1. Jonas goes outside without a suit. I can accept that in the Meg universe, they have the technology to build suits that will protect someone from the pressure at 25,000 feet, but you can't make pressure a thing and then dismiss it when it gets in the way of your story. We are shown the consequences of a person being exposed to the pressure at that depth, when this poor woman's visor shatters and her head explodes. But a little while later, Jonas goes outside without a suit, and the explanation why he can do this is ludicrous. Riga says if Jonas forces water into his sinus cavities, he can survive 30 to 60 seconds before he passes out, because air reacts to pressure. Fish don't have metal suits. So basically, Jonas needs to blow air out of his lungs, take in seawater, so that there's no air in his body to compress under the pressure. But there's something stopping this from working, and it is the rest of Jonas's body. Let me give you a quick anatomy lesson, movie. While the lungs take in air, the heart takes air from the lungs and puts it in our bloodstream, and the bloodstream distributes it through the rest of our body. We may be 60% made up of water, but oxygen accounts for up to 65% of the mass in our body. Therefore, forcing the air out of your lungs is not going to get rid of all the oxygen in your body. And factor in forcefully taking in seawater into his lungs and the freezing temperature at that depth. Yep, Jonas is dead. Roll credits! I'd like to take this time to thank my subscribers and all those who watch my videos and hit that like button. You guys are great. Now, what are some other dumb moments in the movie that didn't make my list? Drop them in the comments and I'll catch you all in the next video. Have a great day.